Guys, when we look back at the worst pay-per-views of 2020, what's the first pay-per-view that's going to come to your mind? At least so far. I know what's going to come to my mind. That is Backlash. Backlash 2020 is going to come to my mind. Some might say, why? Edge and Randy Orton just put on a pretty good contest. I'm not going to take anything away from it. I'm not going to take anything away from the match they just put on. And I'm not going to take anything away from how WWE incorporated Charles Robinson looking like he was from the 1980s, looking like he was from WrestleMania #1, looking and them incorporating, the Howard Finkel and the original WrestleMania 1, set with the whole microphone and things of that nature. I'm not going to take away from any of that. But when we look back at one of the worst pay-per-views of 2020, Backlash is going to stick out. And I'm going to discuss why right here today in this review. Before I do that, every single one of you guys are watching me right now, become a subscriber today. Make sure you do that. Make sure you hit that bell down below along with it. And give me a big thumbs up. Plus, give me a comment. It is appreciated. Tell me what you thought about Backlash. Did you enjoy Backlash? Did you think Randy Orton and Edge put on an extraordinary contest? What did you think about the different aspects that they gave in that match? Did it warrant "this is awesome, this is awesome" about 1,000 times that the people in NXT that was in the arena continue to give it? Let me know in the comments below. Now, let's dive into Backlash 2020. Why is this show one of the worst in 2020? Quite frankly, it's not really the performers that was wrestling tonight's fault. It's really not. It's whoever booked this show. Let me tell you. It's whoever booked this show. We have Asuka. Okay, we have Asuka and Nia Jax. Alright. And a matchup that ends in a double countout. Okay, double countout. They are continuing on in their rivalry onto Extreme Rules. Did this match really go very far? Did they really get really interesting, get really hyped up into this matchup? Did they get full blast in this matchup? Like they were really trying? Of course not. Did a lot of fans care? Probably not. They probably didn't want Nia Jax as the #1 contender, but that's beside the point. Why hold the two competitors back? Why? That's the one thing that I really don't like about these type of pay-per-views. You hold the competitors, you hold the matches back for one matchup. Remember when WWE would throw all hands in? Every single match would be absolutely awesome. Sure, the last match would have some awesome build to it. The billing of the last match would be great. But every single aspect of the show would be all hands-on. And everybody would be just going out there, just going awesome. All hands on deck. We didn't see that tonight whatsoever. Asuka versus Nia Jax didn't. Bayley, Sasha Banks taking on the Iconics. Nikki and Alexa Bliss. I'd like to say that they would have. I'd like to say that would have been a tremendous contest. I'd like to say that kicked off Backlash in an extraordinary way. I really would. Can I? Of course not. Of course not. Why, you might ask? It's simple. All we saw was a big cluster. Well, if we were going to see a big cluster, then why do you have the rules of the only way you can tag in is if you tag in your tag team partner? Well, if you're only going to tag in your tag team partner, then we should only see 3 women in the match at one time. If you're going to have a big cluster matchup, then just make it a huge tornado tag team match. A huge tornado tag team matchup, and then we see a woman get the pinfall, in which we saw the correct tag team get the pinfall tonight, which is Bayley and Sasha Banks. Now go to NXT this coming Wednesday and defend your tag team championship. I'll be watching and giving you the review this coming Wednesday, along with the usual Monday and Friday nights. But, wrestling fans, you have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. Just do the correct booking. So we see the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders. Supposed to have Raw Tag Team Championship, right? So instead of having the Raw Tag Team Championship matchup tonight, we will probably have it tomorrow night on Raw. And instead, we see another segment in which they brawl outside, and then they beat Akira Tozawa and a bunch of other ninjas. And then they beat each other up some more. The Viking Profits. Yeah! Right? Wow. The Viking Profits. Who will become the tag team champions? Will the Street Profits be the tag team champions after this whole melee is over? Or will the Viking Raiders become the new Raw Tag Team Champions? I guess we'll find out at some point. One thing I'm going to say is, can we please start building up the Raw Tag Team division? Please, so we can have somebody else that fall in line for those tag titles whenever this saga is over. That would be nice to see. Wouldn't you think? Wouldn't you think that'd be nice to see? How long can this saga, this rivalry go on? Right? How long? Now, let's move on to Braun Strowman taking on The Miz and John Morrison. Another matchup that, quite frankly, had some promise to it. It could have, if WWE, throughout this entire build, wouldn't have made The Miz and John Morrison look like complete failures, because they just got absolutely beat up, whipped like a couple of rabid dogs, and just looked just worthless on the way to Backlash. And now, they're supposed to look like contenders, actual contenders to the WWE Championship. Excuse me, not the WWE title, the Universal title. Braun Strowman very easily defeats Miz and John Morrison. Who cares, right? So far, what are we seeing? The same rinse and repeat. We are seeing WWE just buying time to the main event. The only thing I'm going to say about Braun Strowman's title reign is, can Bray Wyatt come back and take the title off of Braun Strowman? Or Jeff Hardy get the title off of Braun Strowman? Or maybe Sheamus go against Braun Strowman, since Sheamus beat Jeff Hardy tonight, and then, wrestling fans, Bray Wyatt come and take the title off Braun Strowman. Something. Speaking of Sheamus and Jeff Hardy, Sheamus and Jeff Hardy had a pretty good contest tonight. Out of all the matches that, I've been griping about, because, going into this, the first thing on my mind was, I'm going to try to look at Edge and Randy Orton's match not as the greatest of all time, because there's no way they're going to pull that off. I'm just going to look at it as, hopefully they make a very good contest out of it. That way I don't come on here and just, sit and gripe about it and compare all these matches that have been so great to Edge and Randy Orton's. Instead, we see all these matches that I've been naming get pushed down, right, held back. And that's the impression that I got. And I know that's the impression that a lot of the people that you are going to listen to, wrestling fans, okay, that if you go and watch on any other channel here on YouTube, you will get a lot of that impression. Believe me, you will get that. Then, that's when I got just irritated. Because I like it when they are all on deck and they make the whole show just awesome. That's why I said Backlash would have been great. Backlash would have been so much better if they would have put AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan for the IC strap on Backlash. If they would have put Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins on Backlash. So much better if they would have put those two matches on Backlash's card. But now that I see how the other matches have been held back and they produced them, maybe it's a good thing they didn't put the matches on there. Maybe it's a good thing, because if they would have, me and you all and everybody that's leaving comments and everybody that leaves comments on other channels would have been on here griping, moaning, groaning, and complaining. And who wants to do that, right? Who wants to come on here week in and week out, month in and month out, and gripe about something that we have loved for our entire lives watching? But when you see stuff like this, that's why. Seriously. So, Sheamus and Jeff Hardy, who had a pretty good contest. Probably the second best match on the card. Sheamus, he beat Jeff Hardy. Put him in the main event spot. Have him go up against Braun Strowman. At least then it would be someone that makes at least halfway makes sense. If Bray Wyatt's not coming back yet. If Bray Wyatt's not coming back to the WWE yet because of his child that he just had, then have Sheamus be the number one contender. Then you can have Jeff Hardy go to something that's more important, and he can pick up some momentum. for when Bray Wyatt does become the WWE Universal Champion. Or whenever you want him to be #1 contender. It's just my thoughts about it. Y'all let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. Okay? Now, moving on to the main event. Because quite frankly, Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley, I was surprised that Bobby Lashley lost. I know I predicted Drew McIntyre to win, but then after all the build and after all the stuff that's been going on in the world and things of that nature, I really thought that WWE would pull the trigger and have Bobby Lashley win. But he lost, and I really think that if Bobby Lashley is going to win the WWE Championship, it will be at Extreme Rules. It will be at Extreme Rules. Because Lana costing Bobby Lashley the championship will be, his way to kind of sneak back in and get another shot at the title. Extreme Rules, more than likely Bobby Lashley, I think, will take the title away from Drew McIntyre. And plus, the rumor that Bobby Lashley is going to face Brock Lesnar, I saw that report for the WWE. Well, I don't know if it's for the championship, but every time Brock Lesnar's on TV anymore, it's for a title. So, Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, WWE title. You tell me. Do you all want to see that, or do you want to see another Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar match again at SummerSlam? But, wrestling fans, outside of that, the main event, I've already kind of discussed with you. It was a good contest. It's not over between Edge versus Randy Orton by a long shot. I think they'll have a match at SummerSlam. This is 50-50 booking. Wrestling, WWE Wrestling 101. The final match will probably take place at SummerSlam, and Edge will probably be victorious at that one. That's my prediction on that. And quite frankly, I hope you enjoyed my Backlash 2020 review rant. Okay? The next time WWE does something like this, go all hands on deck. Just go all out and make the entire pay-per-view great, grand, wonderful, fan, bloody-tastic. Alright? I'm getting out of here. Y'all have a good night. I will see you tomorrow for my Monday Night Raw review. Subscribe, hit that bell, like, share, do all that kind of good stuff, and make sure you leave me a big comment down below. And until I see you again, this is Webby, and I'll catch all of you on the other side. Talk to you later.